It has come to my attention that there is an elephant in the room. Look! Wow! Fascinating. Fascinating means very interesting. What is also fascinating or very interesting is that nobody is talking about it. Why is nobody talking about the elephant in the room? I only want to talk about the elephant in the room.
What's your best excuse? I'm just the elephant in the room. Do you really wanna be the one to make this so uncomfortable tonight? When you could be the one to set the record straight, you think it's not the perfect time. I wish I could be the one to make it easy, but I remind you that you're gonna hurt some feelings. So you slide around the issues and little. Heaven forbid you gotta dirty up the halo. So I'm not gonna let this go. Don't know what you're waiting for. I'm not gonna let you go. So I'm just the elephant in the room. What's your best excuse? I'm just the elephant in the room. Better think this through. You don't wanna talk about your feelings. I'll be in the corner with the reason. I'm just the elephant. I'm just the elephant in the room. In the room. I'm gonna be the darkest secret that you can't forget and keep back in your mind. So when people ask what's wrong with you, you can't explain what's killing you inside. I don't know why you gotta cheat on what you stand for. You try to look away, but I'm so big they ignore. I can lay off if you say so. A guilty conscience is obnoxious with no payload. So I'm not gonna let this go. Don't know what you're waiting for. I'm not gonna let you go. So I'm just the elephant in the room. What's your best excuse? I'm just the elephant in the room. Better think this through. You don't wanna talk about your feelings. I'll be in the corner with the reason. I'm just the elephant. I'm just the elephant in the room.
All right. Welcome back to Bridging the Gap. We are here with Councilman James Winn. We're here with Cameron Miller. And now you're going to have to help me with your last name, Matthew. Korshkin. They're from the West Side Neighborhood Alliance. And we've been having some good segments here. And I've noticed that there's a lot of questions that we didn't get to get asked. So we want to take this time and actually ask them. Thank you all for sitting in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So who would like to start?
Well, I mean,
You continue where we were. Yeah.
what kind of initiatives and programs are there that we should be looking for to kind of further our goals in alignment with,
Like
right?
who should be partnership?
Yeah.
You know, like
Is there
any good
anybody that- I think we
partnerships.
kind of talked about a little bit about that.
Right,
Like
for the-
with the with Crosspoint.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, maybe with Rocket Walking.
Yeah.
A lot of these local churches, they're very giving. I mean, that's part of what they do is they help with the communities.
Yeah.
Now that's not their sole focus, obviously, but like they do raise money and they want to be a part of the community, right? So you've got the churches that I mentioned, Rocket Walking, Crosspoint, and there's a bunch more down where you guys live, I'm sure. That's where I would like make a phone call to, you know, and talk to some of these pastors and say, hey, look, we want to get involved with you guys and see how we can work together, you know. And then with the local management board from the county,
Yeah.
that would be another avenue to try and figure out how the county could be a resource for support, and also the county be a resource with making sure the building's maintained, because you guys live in that building pretty much, so you know the needs and what has to be done to the building. So all I can say is what I said before, is if you don't ask, you won't get it for sure, but if you ask it and it gets put on the capital improvement plan, there's a very good chance you could get it because you need it, right? So you have to ask for these things. Now, I can't promise you you're going to get these things,
Right.
whatever it may be. I know that I was reading the capital improvement plan just the other day, and it looks to me that there's a roof put in the plan for the community center. So hopefully that gets pushed through because it sounds like the water's coming in and it's ruining the basketball floor, right?
The basketball floor should be replaced.
Yeah, well,
I think it got substantial water damage from that.
We got to start with the roof first.
Yeah.
We got to, you know what I mean? Start with the roof, protect the investment,
That's a good point.
and then work on the floor afterwards. I mean, you need something to walk on, but if you fix the floor first, then it's just going to have more water damage.
Yeah, and we do some with the local churches. Actually, when we won the WVOC Bless Our Children a portion of the award, we contacted local churches to make sure, because it's for the disadvantaged children, we want to make sure that portion of what the toys were given away were going to those children specifically. We asked them, because I don't know them as well, but the church as well, and we didn't want to single them out either.
They've been doing it forever.
Exactly. Well, that's who they cater to,
right?
You know?
Now, let me ask this question. With the West Side Neighborhood Alliance, what are y'all exactly?
We are a 501c3 that is a community-based organization. We want to not only enrich, but also really enhance the lives of our residents, because our area is so underserved and there's a lot of people forget about us. And we want to change that. We want to bring it back. This community is so strong, and it used to be so glorious back in the day. Everyone looks out for each other.
Oh, I know, I'm from it.
Still is.
And we want to bring it back. Yeah, it's great. It's great, but it's still not what it used to be, and we can get back there.
And we're just so people know, we're completely 100% volunteer based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every penny goes to our programs and services.
Exactly. And everybody, nobody is paid within the organization. It is all, we have to lean on each other. And right now, our board is doing the majority of the work. We do have some great volunteers, but we have the same volunteers that are helping, and I think some people get burned out.
Oh, yeah.
It would be great to have new, fresh faces. And
How does somebody
that
apply for that?
well, Matt can give, so Matt is our communications person, so you can give the information on our website,
Yes.
just to reach out, but you can tell people how to.
Our website is www.westsidenow.org, or you can find us on Facebook, West Side Neighborhood Alliance. I'm the guy you're talking to, or even if you email it at info@westsidenow.org, and just tell us you're interested, we will absolutely find you a place. And, right now, there's no minimum hours. We're not going to ask you to come in 20 hours a week or do anything you're not comfortable with. Just tell us, I want to set up for stuff. I want to do administrative work. We actually have openings all over the place, especially with IT and social media. If we could ever have anybody who wanted to help us out with that.
Wink, wink.
The communications committee could use someone. And it's just things like that right now, there's no bad help.
Right.
So just reach out to us. Come to events. Bingo again tomorrow night.
Bingo
7 o'clock.
tomorrow night.
And just, we'll all be wearing green shirts. Find one of us and say, hey, I want to get involved.
Now, thank you. I'm actually from Weetipwin, and I mean,
that's how you say it.
Yes, it's Weetipwin. Now, when I was growing up, the community was very much involved, and you're right. It was it literally was a big family. Now, I can also say that when we came down there for the holiday dinner, that same feeling was there. There was a time before COVID where they had afternoon mentoring programs. As a matter of fact, there was a teacher, I think her name is Miss Birdie from Westside Primary. They used to work there and help out. She didn't work; she volunteered.
Okay.
So there has been some things that's happened in that area that has been productive in the past, and I think there's the right group there now with you guys all there and the rest of them. Now, there was a time you and I spoke about. There was a time where the county was looking to shut down that building.
Yes.
And I can tell you, I did my best to try to bridge that gap and talking to elected. Yeah, really. Working with the elected officials, and Councilman Winn, who does not toot his own horn, he definitely went to bat a lot of times for that area.
Thank you.
Now, is there any other things that, like him as a councilman, that he could?
The West Side Task Force, right?
Yes.
There, the executive helped form that task force.
Joe Lappin, right?
Yeah, Joe. Dave King, and Lee Robinson used to be a part of it. God bless his soul. A good man, great man.
But he said the executive helped to set that up.
Yeah, well, that's how it all came to work. Came to be was the county needed help understanding what the needs were down on the west side. Captain Joe Lappin went to the executives department and said, hey, look, I really want to be a part of something like this, like a task force. And so it was originally, they wanted to be like a commission, like with the county, like commission board, and you have to get approval for the council. But at the time, the executive was just wanted to get it set up and get it going, and then transfer hopefully into a commission at a later date.
Great idea.
Right, and it should happen, right? But that's how it all started. And I was at the very first meeting. It was very short. And since that's happened, it seems like the membership has grown.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a resource that I don't know if you guys have tapped into yet or not, but...
Well, they have their meetings.
Yeah, they have their meetings in the building, and we have people that attend their meetings, but we don't have a real cohesive partnership yet. We are going to be working on that, and one thing we
are working on that together.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. And David's been a help with that, and we also said to him, we want how the task force has ties to the leadership of the county. We want to learn who these people are, invite them in also, so we can talk, because we have a lot of good Parks and Recs connections. That's kind of how, from what we do.
Top notch.
But more from the leadership
professional.
also in the council, at the county level.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why we're having to sit down today.
Okay, so the establishment of how the county works.
Right.
If you need to know this, because a lot of people don't really understand how a county executive form of government works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I mean,
Tell us
a lot of
more.
people don't even know what a council is, or what an executive is,
That one especially, yeah.
And that's kind of
Council don't even know what an executive is sometimes. But anyway, go ahead.
Not every county has executive positions, and a lot of people
so-
don't really understand what it is.
Yeah, so essentially, a lot of the counties around us, if not all of them, have a commissioner form of government, right? So that is, it's the executive functions and the legislative functions combined. So it's one head for both branches. That's how our Board of Education is established in Wycomico County right now.
Okay.
Like you have an administrator, you have Dr. Stauffer, which he does a great job, and he runs the administration of the Board of Ed, right? But he's not elected, right? He's hired by the board.
I like that.
Now
I like
the
that.
board is the board runs the executive functions through the Board of Ed, right? They'll work with the administrator and make all the elected decisions, because you can't have an unelected person making decisions for the people. That's not how America is founded. We don't live on that kind of system. At least we try not to, right? At least locally. But with that form of government with the Board of Education is how a commissioner form of government is run in like Dorchester County, Somerset County, Worcester County. That's how they run their government. Now our government is kind of special. It's unique. It's more. It's run more like how the states run. So the state is run with a governor, right? And the state also has a House of Delegates and the Senate, right? It's separated with two branches. The difference is we have one branch, right? It's just the legislative branch and the executive branch, and we don't have two different houses. We're just councilmen, right? And there's 7 of us. And so the executive runs all the personnel of the county, right? If you need something done with the county personnel staff, whether it be Parks and Rec, roads, solid waste, any of these different departments, the county executive is the one that executes everything. Like I say she, but anyone in that role that is the executive is the head of that branch. Anything personnel related.
Wow.
And they execute all the laws, right? Now the sheriff upholds all the laws. So that's how that works on that end. Now, the council, you wonder what the heck the council does, right? So the executive creates a budget every year, an annual budget, a plan of what the needs are for the county, right? Now, that budget gets proposed to the council every year, and the council sifts through it, and we decide whether or not, this is a bad plan, we'll throw this one out, or we'll keep this plan because we know that's needed, or we see that there's just these programs that we don't feel is needed for the county, or we can say they are needed for the county.
Okay.
we can go ahead and just cherry pick, but we can't add anything to the budget. That's a no bueno. Now,
Okay.
we can request things. Like if I see a need in the community, I can call the executive up, or I can send her an email and asking for certain things to be added to the budget.
Sure.
Like one of the things is Athol Road needed to be paved, right? And that was a big deal, and the fire companies were asking for it. And so we were able to work with the executive and get some money to get that road fixed and done.
Okay.
And so we were able to get that done. The other thing that we do is pretty much, okay, so you remember the establishment of the West Side Alliance, your organization in itself. So there was an agreement that had to be signed with the county, right? So that agreement started with the executive, and the executive did the dealings with.
It's called an MOU, right?
Yeah, a memorandum of understanding. But the executive works out the kinks and the deal, and gets that deal and that plan and takes it to the board, which is the council. So the executive takes it to us, and we say either we want this or we don't want this, and can we modify this anyway? And that's how that happened with you guys taking over the West Side Community Center. And so we went ahead and said, okay, this is a great idea. It's nice that you guys are taking it upon yourselves to create a community center. And so we had no problem with allowing the county to sign on to that.
Okay.
Another thing, I keep talking. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're doing
please.
great.
Yeah.
You're
another
educating
thing-
us.
Yeah, I'm wrapped by this. Go ahead.
But another thing that we do is if the county wants to purchase a building, let's say the Verizon building, right? That's a big topic right now. And it's sad because it was a great purchase. Now, some people might not agree with it, but the Hurdle Building is where the health department is at right now. And it's going to get moved to the Verizon building.
Was really?
Yeah, because the Hurdle Building is an old dilapidated building. It needs a ton of upgrades, right? The basement needs to be redone. It's going to cost the county, it could cost the county hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million to get it fixed, right?
Wow.
It's going to cost the county a ton of money to get it back up to where it needs to be. So the best thing that we thought at the time when we first saw the Verizon building come up for sale is, hey, look, why don't we surplus the Hurdle Building and look for another building? And that turned out to be the Verizon building. And we bought that building. I think it was like $2.7 million. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember everything.
It was a lot of money.
But it was a lot of money, and it sounds like a lot of money. But when you look at what you're getting, right, you're getting a building that is going to be accessible to everyone in the community. It's at a great location. It's right on 50 in Beagland Park, has its own parking spots, so we no longer have to pay the city for parking anymore in downtown. So we're going to save a ton of money there. And then for the first year, I think a year and a half, we collected rent from Verizon. I think it was 50 grand a month.
Oh, wow.
Don't quote me on that, but it was around that. It was a ton of money that we were collecting a month, and we were banking that. That goes right in. The reason why you don't see it in the budget or anything, because that lease actually goes into the county fund, like it goes into the general fund. It doesn't go into, okay, this came from this building, because then you'd have to do it from everything, right? So that's why it looks more expensive to get the new Verizon building updated so that it is up to par for the new health department, right? And it's going to be a brand new building, new roof, everything, and it'll be there for another 50 years once we're done with it.
Wow.
I mean, that's my assumption. It's going, you know, those buildings you don't have to redo them over and over again.
Right.
So that's what I'm hoping, is that we can get that Hurdle building sold, and the county works with the executive department with that. Like, the county executive cannot make unilateral decisions to just sell buildings and buy new stuff. So we actually had, at the beginning, we had closed sessions to discuss all of this, and so everyone knew what was going on, and we were able to the county executive was able to make the deal, and now we're at that point where we're transitioning out of the Hurdle Building. So now Matthew McConaughey, which is an awesome name, right?
Yeah.
He is our health officer. And he's a great guy.
He's got a side job with Y Comico.
Yeah. He quit the movie industry. He moved down here. No.
Different guy, everyone.
Different guy. It's not the movie star, but, you know, he's an awesome individual. He's been doing a great job with the health department. If you need any health needs or anything,
Actually, could be someone good for the food pantry.
he might be a good one for the food pantry.
Yeah,
and I have his information. I can probably help, get you guys contacted with that.
Yeah.
But so he's going to come to the council here really soon, hopefully next meeting or the meeting after next, with the plan of the expenses of what it's going to cost to get the new building up and ready. So once we can get that done and built, then we can either sell the Hurdle Building or lease it. But my vote would be to try to sell it, to offload it, because there is so much work that needs to be done to it.
Now, I want to ask a question about, like, with the deal that, of course, the executive, along with the council, made to get internet down the way.
Chop tank,
yes.
right now.
Now, one of the great things about that was when that deal was made and workings of it, you had 2 at-large, which you're at-large.
Yeah, I was part of that.
And you had a District 2. So
yeah, 3 representatives.
you had 3 representatives. Now, my concern is, come this next election, which is in November, we lose 2 council seats that's going to know what's going on in the West Side Neighborhood Alliance. And it'd be one, which currently he's the only one that lives in that district.
Right.
Let me ask you this, because that's actually what I wanted to ask you was, so to these meetings that you guys have, the council meetings, are they open to the public?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that was
Should
my
we
main
attend them and talk to you that way? And should the community members, if they feel strong enough, can they come to these meetings and say, hey, these are our
That's a good
needs in the West
question.
End?
You
Yeah.
can do that. I have nothing against that. Absolutely. I want community engagement and community involvement, because what do they say? An uninformed lecture that's not good. You need people to show up and know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we need to know what's going on. That's like,
Wow.
I had the analogy
good.
brought to me by my council administrator today. She's like, she said, if people aren't coming to the meetings and telling us what's going on, it's like, why do you go to the doctor's office?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't know what they don't tell you.
You don't know if they don't tell you. And I thought that was a great analogy.
So,
And,
but my question is about what goes on after this election.
like the representation. And all that.
Currently our executive now, she actually lives in Hebron, which is in our district,
Yeah,
which is in that
close.
district.
Yeah.
But if that next executive, which one day she's not going to be the executive, she can probably think she's going to do.
Can't be doing it forever.
Right.
Same with me. Can't do it forever.
But so as it stands right now, our council person down there is going to be very, very.
Well, that's why you have to make sure you have a good one. You have to make sure you have someone.
You live in that district still, right? So you're
Yeah,
running
I
for
live in
re-election in that district, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Oh.
Okay.
But I can't say that.
Yeah, I can see your concern that if they don't have a connection to the area, they may not have as
That's
much
a really
interest
big-
and
You have a
knowledge.
stake in it.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
The
but
district is huge. It's
Oh, yeah.
big. It's a big district.
but what he said was very important too, though, because when you lose those other 2 councilmen that will be invested, I like the word invested, into
Right.
that area, it's going to come up to what you say, hey, I've reached out to whoever that council person is, but just in case y'all don't know, because you live in Parsonsburg, you live in Delmar, people are not going to understand throwing $200,000. How much did we put into Cove last year?
I have no idea.
Somebody living in Parsonsburg is going to say that's
A lot.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, they won't see the value in it. I mean, when I moved to Tyaskin, most people didn't know where Tyaskin was. We moved from 2
that
hours
great?
from here. And
That's great, though.
People
They
in
say, "Where you live?"
Salisbury
Yeah.
don't know where Tyaskin
I'd
is.
tell them it's 15, 20 minutes west of
That's not a
Salisbury.
bad thing.
I know. I
Unless
like
you're
to
talking
keep
about
it a
the
secret.
services we needed to know where it is.
Right, that's true.
Right.
But,
So, like, I can't imagine, we're just not getting enough representation as it is now. So there's no such thing as too little exposure for us.
Well, coming to council meetings and voicing your concerns is a big one, because
Very big.
council members, just because they don't live in your district or represent your district, doesn't mean they don't care.
Right.
They do because they can.
I mean, I have, I have Mr. Holloway. I'm just going to use him as an example because I like Joe. I like him. I like him as a person, But he cares about what happens to county roads in my district, in District 2.
Yeah, he was
cares.
actually in the parade, in the West Side Parade, actually.
He's come to my town hall events on the west side because he wants to know what's going on so he can help make the correct decision. So you do get council members that care about what's going on in different districts, because they think of, a lot of these council members, right now they think as the county as a whole. Right?
That's old school too.
Right, but like also you have to be a little selfish as a council member, because you have to pull back for your district. You know, if I live in your district, I need to make sure the harbors are getting fixed up, because that was one of the things that we had an issue with. And I know I'm at large, but that was one of the things that I pushed for. Was I had a friend of mine fall through the floorboards in the harbor, like through the like his leg went through on the dock, like the dock boards were coming loose, right?
Yeah.
And same with one of the fishermen I know, like there was no electric out there. The
over at Cedar Hill. Yeah.
boards were falling apart. So
It all
that was
needed
something that
updating. Yeah.
I got a hold of. I worked with the county on the county executive on, and we made sure that we were able to get funding established to start getting that fixed up. And I think there's more funding in the capital improvement plan to do more work down there.
Okay.
So
Is there a process that we would have to go through in order to get approval to come to your meetings, or
no.
is it just
No.
it's completely?
Just put it in your GPS.
first and third Tuesday.
Okay.
First and third Tuesday every month. And
Where the hell?
for the life of me, I can't figure out
He wants to know
which
the
one's
address.
PM and which one's AM.
It's the first one of the month is at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
And it's at 125 North
Right.
Division Street.
It's at the government building. You know where the government building is?
Yeah, before
It's
for
on
the
the
signal
third.
viewers.
Oh yes, yeah. It's at the government building on third floor.
Third floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you can't come to any of those meetings, right? Email works as well.
Okay.
So you can email your county executive, you can email your council persons, and you can email all of them, you know? So if you don't email or if you don't say anything, I can promise you nothing's going to happen.
Right.
You know, because, I mean, I'm only one
Closed mouth
person.
don't get fed.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm only one person, and I can't be everywhere. I can try, but I certainly can't cut myself in half and be in two different places at once. So,
Absolutely.
Did you want to?
All right.
I feel like I'm doing a lot of
just-
talking. I don't want to step over
well,
you.
no.
Same.
One of the things I wanted to touch on is for the West Side Neighborhood Alliance, like we operate everything. We pay our bills through donations, everything, and the way we pay for things.
Right.
This year we're focusing a lot on ways to get grants for different programs we want to start and
Yeah.
improvements at the building and et cetera. And I don't know if you're aware of any grants that you think we should
Well,
or
the county recently hired a grant coordinator.
really?
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Lori Carter is the new
Oh, yeah,
grant
she's
coordinator.
awesome.
So
Lori Carter.
she used to be in planning and zoning, and so she retired from that, and we had this opening for a grant coordinator. We needed one. So that would be someone that I would reach out to and ask for assistance
Okay.
on
guidance,
grants
yeah.
that could help.
And I will get her contact information from
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I'd have
Very
to.
cool.
I don't have it down, but I can
I'm sure.
get it.
Okay.
We can get it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, because grants are
You're gonna have to
more-
write a list of things that I need to do now.
And that's the thing, I'll just say real quick, if there's anyone watching this and you know grants and you want to volunteer some time helping, because we need
Yeah.
help with grant writing, it is a very long process and is time consuming, and we only have so much time. So like
people.
one of our big things is help writing grants. So if you are that
And
person.
I'll put your
info@westsidenow.org.
that is it. I can't say it as fast as you say it, but I want to thank everyone for coming on. And
We done?
I definitely think we need to have another segment down the road. But yeah, this has been Bridging the Gap, and I really do believe that we've been bridging the gap here. Thank you, Councilman Winn, and looking forward to talking to you more. Thank you both. Looking
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing the great things that continue to happen on the West Side.
Absolutely.
And I'm actually going to be reaching out to you all also because I'm thinking that it's about time for a town hall.
And if you want to see what's happening at West Side, bingo, 7 o'clock, Bivalve, West Side Community Center tomorrow night, $20 a person, 18 and over only.
Bingo.
Cash prizes, that's why.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
And there's a calendar of events with other things. So
Yeah,
check
go
it
to our
out.
website, there's a full calendar on there, you can see what we're up to, and things get added
All right.
all the time.
All right. This is Bridging the Gap. Have a great one.
Do you really wanna be the one to make this so uncomfortable tonight? When you could be the one to set the record straight, you think it's not the perfect time.